Playing? Alright, what's up everybody? It is me, Jarrett, over here at VX Vision 1394, back with another Will It Work. Today, we've got another eBay purchase, another Video8 camcorder that I'm going to go over. So yeah, I got another Video8 for two reasons. Like I talked about the last video, just over the course of doing these Will It Works and swap meets and stuff, I had came across, just accumulated quite a few of the Video8 power supplies. So I thought, well, let me order a couple of them off of eBay and see what happens. If they do work, then I can bundle the power supplies with it, obviously, and try to move some of that stuff. So, I mean, that's just kind of common sense, but just giving you guys some backstory because Video8s probably aren't something that I would have focused on had I not had the power supply. So it's kind of the reason I'm doing a few of these, plus it adds some variety to the channel. Secondly, I have the one I'm going to be opening here is a TRV22, and I have another one that doesn't work, but the condition of this one is really, really good. So I thought, well, if this one maybe works in the tape compartment, I can swap out some of the pieces, the body, the shell of this one for it maybe just Frankenstein one together, a really nice unit. So that's kind of the two reasons why I chose this one. And let's kind of get into this. I'm going to go over quite a few pictures here and probably be a little bit long-winded, but I want to show you guys kind of my process. Again, kind of like how I go about doing this when I search for one, when I search for a camcorder. So the first thing I do up here in the search listing is I just put in like Sony Handycam untested. There's other ways to do it, but that's kind of like a simple way. That way you're hitting kind of the keyword Sony, Handycam here, and then untested. So it's kind of what you want to go for. But let's take a look anyway. Sony CCD-TRV22 Video8 Handycam camcorder with lanyard and bag untested. So not a lot to it. Just the camcorder, the shoulder strap, and a bag. We'll get into the pictures a little bit more, but it does look like there's a battery on the back. So title is the first thing, Video8 Sony Handycam untested. Cool. Next thing we want to look at is the seller, Barter King Sean, 333 feedback, 100% positive. So it's not a lot, but 100%. And Barter King Sean kind of sounds like somebody who's just flipping stuff. Maybe flea markets, garage sales, swap meets, who knows? But it does, right away, it kind of sounds legit. Somebody who I want to typically buy stuff from. The price was $23.99. Seller does not accept returns, no problem. For parts are not working, yep. And then the price of shipping was $9.06. So I added this one to the cart. Let's go over the pictures here, but once I saw that one, I added it to the cart. And sometimes sellers will send you offers once it gets added to your cart. They get alerted through eBay that so many people, X amount of people have added it to the cart. They can send out promotions. I could do the same thing on eBay to try to entice more sales. So when I did that, and we'll get to it, the seller sent me an offer down the road. But the next picture that I'm looking at here, the camcorder with the LCD screen open, I don't see, you know what I should have done? My fault. Let me just go back here one, because I went over that portion, but I didn't go over the first picture here. So as I zoom in, I can see a little bit of wear, which just looks like cosmetic at this point. And again, that's stuff that I can replace with the shell of the Handycam of the camcorder I have here. So yeah, we've got the camcorder, shoulder strap, bag. I'm not seeing anything that would alarm me in the first picture. Second one is with the LCD screen open, and again, let me zoom in a little bit here. Just normal wear and tear, and I'm not seeing any damage to the screen whatsoever. Sometimes those LCD screens, depending on the location and where they're at, you'll see them kind of get burnt on there, causes damage to the screen. So we're good on that. Not seeing anything else here that I think I need to cover. I'm just going to go over these pictures again. Yeah, right here we're seeing some cosmetic defects, and then up here, like I mentioned on the last video, sometimes the cameras can bring out more of the imperfections on the camcorder. Like when I take a picture with my phone, whatever it is, Android or iPhone, sometimes the quality of our cameras are so good it kind of magnifies. If light hits scratches or stuff in the wrong or right way, however you want to say it, it magnifies the imperfections at times. That's good. You want to show it, but you don't want to do yourself like, you know, the last camcorder I got in, I thought looked a lot better than the pictures. So we'll see on this one as well. But again, nothing here on this that is causing me any alarm. Next picture, just the inside of the LCD door. Again, I'm not seeing anything here. Just show some of the features that are on it. Commander beep, zoom, digital zoom, record mode, LCD black or backlight. So yeah, a lot of options there. So that kind of tells me there's probably not much in the way of the menu. They put a lot of buttons there to just quick access. So here's another closer up picture of the screen. Looks good. Next picture here, looks like we have a battery on the back of it. Again, I don't think I've ever had one of these batteries work. So I'll probably, if it works, if the camcorder works, I will buy an aftermarket battery to bundle with it. Also though, I'm not seeing anything on the back here that's for cause any alarm. This picture is kind of interesting. I think it's more so the way it is, like the lighting. You see a gap here, and at first I thought, oh, maybe the tape compartment door is pushed down. We're gonna look at this one, and it could just be the angle and the lighting as well. That could be a shadow or something like that, but I'm not seeing as much of a gap here on this one. Maybe I am now. Actually, the way I look at this, I bet it's lighting, like shadows. Wrist strap looks good. I can't tell if there's a tape in there or not. I'm not seeing anything on there that I need to discuss. Here's the front. So the lens cover is automatic, meaning when you switch, when it's on off, it's closed. When you turn this switch here to camera, it opens the lens cover there. Later on camcorders, they put a plastic lens cover over them, like, not sure if you can see like those, or if you're familiar with them, just an external cover. But before it was built in, and maybe later on certain ones it would have been built in as well. Zoom controls up front, little bit of cosmetic wear down here on the microphone. I can't tell, doesn't look like any damage or anything there. Let's go to the next picture, which is with it open, meaning the lens cover open. I think all this stuff in here is just, I don't know why they put their finger almost right on it. I don't see anything there. I don't think that's... And for 20 bucks, we'll get to the final price, but, you know, $20 plus shipping and tax, probably around $30. I don't care. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And then the top of the camcorder, the same way. I'm just seeing some cosmetic wear here as well. Here's the battery. What is that? The NP33. Here's something I want to mention because I had this happen on a previous Video8 camcorder. When the battery was left on it, these little terminal contacts here, they had corroded. So whether the camcorder corroded or the contacts on the battery, it doesn't really matter. There was corrosion on there, and then that corrosion ended up corroding on this next picture here. Excuse me. is it the next picture? Yeah. So there are terminal contacts right here that the battery aligns with. And when the battery had corroded, or those had corroded, the contacts ended up getting so brittle they broke off. So if you're doing Video8s or whatever, and they do have these little pin contacts like that, they're not very big. Maybe the size of like circumference of a paper clip or something like that. There's 2 on each side, so 4 total. Might even be a little bit thinner than a paper clip, I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, they ended up getting corroded and then brittle, like I said, broke off. So it was able to be fixed. We just took the camcorder apart, my son did, and replaced the part in there that, but take a look at that first. Now, the next picture we're going to go over is the item specifics. This is something that you want to look at on the listing, but a lot of times when you're doing the untested ones, there isn't going to be much of a description down here because, for one, it's for parts are not working, it's untested. They're not going to put a lot of details in here. They just want, just take it. It's your responsibility now. So selling as, probably supposed to be selling as is. Selling as for parts or repair, do not have charger to test. Test it. So unit is sold as is, untested, shipped same or next day payment. Thanks for looking. Talked about this last video. Certain sellers are very honest about this stuff. The ones who value their feedback and the ability to sell on eBay, they're going to be honest in the description and as a seller. Not everybody is. So sometimes when they sell, sometimes when sellers sell their camcorders for parts not working or untested, there are situations where it has been tested and they know that. They know it doesn't work, but they're just trying to get rid of it and kind of fool somebody. So just do your homework as best you can. You're going to have situations where as you get better, you're going to win a lot more than you lose on these. So you can just kind of sniff out the ones that aren't quite so honest a little easier. Okay, last thing here is what the final price was. So like I said, when I added it to the cart, it was like $23.99. The seller sent me an offer for $20, which I accepted. So 20 bucks, $9.06 shipping. Tax was $1.95. It ended up being $31.01. Yeah, there's the seller offer, but I think I can probably let's exit out of that. Or actually, maybe I'll do one more thing at this point. You know, you want to look at what items the seller, what other items the seller has available for sale. And as I was looking at him and kind of scrolling through his items, I saw he does have some electronics, just miscellaneous stuff. So once I saw that he had some electronics, I do like to search then in their store or of their items, Sony, to see if they have any other Sony camcorders for sale that are similar to this and might have power supplies or batteries with them. And you'll see that at times. Sometimes sellers will say, this one's untested, but in their store, they've got other ones, other Video8s that have the necessary components to test this one or have been tested. So yeah, it's just another way, you just doing your homework. So other than that, I don't think there's, I'll apologize if I'm missing something. Sorry that was long-winded. I just kind of wanted to go over everything and show kind of like my thought process of what I'm thinking, what I'm looking for when I'm looking at an eBay listing. And if you're new to this or new to eBay, you know, kind of like where you should look first and just use judgment. So anyways, I think we're ready to get into this one. Packaging wise, pretty good. It's small box for the bag in there, and for this, not a lot of room for it. So maybe he has, I don't know, but that would be the only thing I don't like is when they take an item like that and they just cram it into a smaller box, because we do have some, you know, where it's like bowing out, but Whatever. 30 bucks, $31, whatever. So let's see. I don't see any packing. None. It's just a bag. Nothing inside, so again, whatever, but this packaging, it's easy enough to get off. I was gonna say I'm not too worried about trying to save that like I do bubble wrap and other stuff. Here's the case, low pro bag, so that's cool, good enough. Let's take a look. Okay, here is the camera. And nothing down in there. Just double check all the pockets. If there is any other ones, that's it. Okay. First things first, let's take off the shoulder strap. Okay. Yeah, I think this one's broke, man. So there was, you can see the tape door compartment is very loose here. Still not a deal breaker because, you know what, I'm wondering? Sometimes people do this to try and get a tape out. They might go in here and think that this can be pulled, this would dislodge the tape compartment, they could get the tape out or something like that. Not too really worried about this yet, but that is definitely not right. So let's take a look at everything else here. I'm seeing the normal cosmetic wear on this side, as well as the top, the LCD compartment side, or I'm sorry, the tape compartment side, other than the door looks pretty good. The back, let's take this battery off. No corrosion on those pins, and there wasn't really much or any on there. I will charge this battery up and put in the video if it works, but I'm not holding my breath. The bottom, let's just show this thing and we'll spin it. So there's that. Top, back, this side, the front. Let's look at the glass. I'm not sure if that's on the inside or the outside. It looks like it has a fingerprint on it. I'm gonna leave it alone for right now. I'll clean that later. And then the LCD screen looks good. Bottom, I don't know if I'm missing anything here. I'm gonna put it over here and spin it, grab a power supply. I think I have to run downstairs, grab a power supply. So let's get this spinning. I don't even have it plugged in. Jeez, I was so unprepared for this one. I don't have any tapes over here. No power supply. What the hell was I doing? All right, this is gonna spin, and I'm gonna go get all the necessary stuff. Cleaning cassette. I think I'll grab this TDK tape, and yep, I gotta go grab a power supply. That's gonna spin while I'm gone. All right, cool. Damn, sorry about that. get this thing undone here. That should be good. That's probably went around a few times. Oops. There we go. I think I'm going to move this out of the way as well. Might as well just turn this off at this point. Okay. Am I in frame here? Looks like I am. Yeah, we'll see. Not too worried about this. Even if this plastic is broke here, thinking this whole compartment could be replaced. And again, it's just the tape compartment on that one. So if the tape compartment would work on this, you know, I think I can put together fairly easily a working unit. So let's take a look. Okay, I'm on camera already, and then, so yeah, what you want to do, switch it to camera, and then on the switch back here, you want to switch it from lock to standby. And let's see if I get a screen here. So the tape compartment is making like a little bit of a sound, but I have picture here. It doesn't sound like it's doing it now. Okay, I'm gonna have to try to get this tape out of here. Let's do that first. So yeah, this has totally just been broken. I'm guessing it might not be broke, but it's not. I'll have to look and see how it attaches. But there's the tape. Okay. I don't see any creasing or chewing of the tape, and it didn't eat the tape either. My first thoughts are this. I'm not sure how this attaches, but it wouldn't it has to, I would think, I don't think it just snaps into place. I would think that this needs to be, I thought it would be screwed on. But let's look at something here. Let's just try to close the compartment. Why are we not getting power now? Okay, I got a thought here. I'm wondering if two things. The power obviously went out. So that means that this power supply that I have, make sure I'm on VTR good, which I am. So there could be inconsistency with the power supply or the terminals where I was showing on the battery those contacts. You could, and I probably will, I'll probably get a toothbrush, dip that down into the alcohol, get like the excess off, and then just scrub over those bristles or the contact points. Don't do it too hard, do it lightly, but enough to where you're getting some, you're I don't know, you're scrubbing it with the toothbrush and the alcohol. So, I do want to kind of look in here and see if the pinch roller is in there. So basically, I just kind of have to figure out how this attaches in there. Usually I thought it was Most of the time it's screws. I can't imagine this just snaps into place. But to be honest, I don't even think you need it on there while I'm testing it. When you're using it and everything, of course you would want it on there for that. But let's just see how this... So the mechanism... I'm just going to do that a few more times. Again, I'm repeating myself. I talked about this stuff. I talk about it a lot in most of the videos, so I am repeating myself here. But when I get a camcorder in like this, especially when it has a tape in it, I like to run the tape compartment a few times, just get it working again, because the tape is set in there, so it's kind of set in a position where it would be ready to maybe read the tape, and things are just, they kind of get froze up in a certain area. It doesn't mean they're literally frozen like that, but they're moved typically. So once I get this going again, I don't know how long the person who I bought it off of on eBay, I don't know how long they had it, how long the person before them had it. So you just want to turn it on, get it working again, get the gears, motors, and everything just functioning. So that actually, I wouldn't say it sounds great, but it definitely doesn't sound bad. Okay. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna kind of skip over this portion right now. I'm not gonna focus on trying to fix that at the moment. I think I can go over most of the functionality of it without that door on, and I think I can even test this without this cover on it as well. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. Let's just go over some of the features of this and see what is and maybe isn't working. So obviously let's do the first thing here, which I already did, or maybe I didn't, I don't know. Let's try a few zooms here. And again, this is just getting everything moving. The lens, it's a little interesting. The lens, now it's doing it much smoother. Initially, when I was zooming, it felt like it was kind of like there was some resistance to it. But not feeling like I was feeling that through here, I was seeing that. I was seeing resistance, but it appears like it's zooming pretty good now. So again, sometimes I'm not saying that it's fixed or anything like that. It just, right now it appears to be okay. And it might be one of those, just a similar situation where just got to get it working and moving again. And now I'm testing the zoom up front. It's kind of a cool feature to put it up here, just a little quick shortcut with it. So zoom is good. Take a look at the eyepiece here. Yeah, the eyepiece is good. Let me focus it up. Also, like these Video8s, they're kind of notorious for getting debris, little filaments of dust and stuff behind the eyepiece. It doesn't show up when recording. It's just simply visual imperfections there. Hopefully I can get this. Let me do it this way, and I'll be able to tell if I'm... Oh, no, I can't. Can't do it that way. My bad. Hopefully you're seeing a picture through that. If not, I'll, of course, put a photo up showing it going through. On the outside here, you've got some shortcut shooting modes, which looks like a sports mode, nighttime shooting, and then I'm not 100% sure what all these are. It's the program AE, so it's different shot modes. So if you're recording sports, the camera will take that into consideration if you put this on the sports mode, and it's just the designated or designed way to shoot it. You don't have to. A lot of times I just leave it on auto, so I'm going to switch it to that, which is this dial right here. So you can just leave it on auto and the camera will do all the work for you with exposure and lighting and stuff like that. There might be situations where you want to adjust it, and you can use one of those modes if you choose. So let's look at this button up here on the front, which is backlight. And I'll show you guys. I gotta be careful here. I don't want to touch inside on the drum unit. Above my index finger there is the backlight button. And let's see where, yeah, I'm losing power here on this one. Or maybe it shut off because of, the camcorder does have a feature where if it's just left in standby like this, a security, I guess I could call it a security feature, where if it's left just idle or on standby like this for a certain amount of time, 5 minutes or whatever it is, the camcorder will just shut off. So that way, if you put it in your bag and it's accidentally on, it won't drain out the battery. The camcorder just shuts off. So if that happens, I was just kind of like thinking, oh great, here's the battery again. But okay, let's try this backlight. I'm not sure where the icon will be. Let's see if I can see it. I don't even know if there's an icon, but I'm seeing the change in the screen. Watch here. So it's pretty, well, you're not seeing that, but hopefully you'll see a difference in the quality of the image there. It's a lot brighter right now, and then it went a little darker. Usually they have a visual indication on the screen for that stuff. Let's look at some more of these. Display. So yeah, the display went away with that button there. Titles. So here we've got titles down there, and it will cycle through them when I press this button, or when I press the title button, it cycles through. And then as you get to the end, it just goes away. Date and time. Not sure if the internal battery is still good on this one. I'll show you where that's at. The internal battery is behind, I'll open the door, hopefully you can see it there. It's behind this door right above my index finger here. So you can open that. It's like a watch battery. It's a lithium battery. It's easy to replace, and that saves date and time and certain menu functions. So if the camera, which I bet this one does, would save your date and time, and then you can put like custom titles in the camcorder through the menu. We'll get there. Pretty sure on this one. On the last one I just did the review for, the 312, it had slots where you could put custom titles in. So it would save that stuff as well. A lot of this stuff isn't used anymore because it could be superimposed after the fact through any like editing software. But if you want to use it for nostalgia or just for functionality, as long as that battery is in good working condition, you can have your date and time set and other menu functions saved, I should say. Commander. So I think the commander, if I'm not mistaken, would be for the remote control. I hope I'm right on that. There's an IR sensor on the front, so I'm assuming that the first switch behind the LCD door here is for commander, and usually that was a name synonymous with the remote controls. So when that's on, you could use the remote control, and if you turned it off, the remote wouldn't work. Let's turn. The next switch here is for beep. I like that on because it's an audible indication of when you start recording and when you stop. You'll hear a beep each time. Digital zoom is the next one. I'm going to turn that on. Optical zoom is the lens. It's like a magnifying glass. So the optical zoom is precision. And then once it zooms past the optical zoom portion, then it kicks into digital zoom, which is like a camcorder, or it's a it's done electronically through the camcorder. It's not by the lens, so it's not 100% accurate, but it does give you a longer zoom. But as you zoom further in the digital zoom, you lose quality. Record mode, I'm going to put this on SP, And then the LCD backlight, I'm just going to leave that down on normal. The record modes, you have the 3 start and stop modes, and I'm going to leave that switch on the one where you press it once to start, then you press it again to stop recording. The next switch over here is for anti-ground. What is this? I am like lost on this one. That's horrible. That's steady shot? Oh, my bad. My bad. I thought on the initial switches up at the top, commander, beep, digital zoom, record mode, LCD backlight, the anti-ground shooting is steady shot. So let's turn that on. Yeah, let me go over or just kind of show these over here behind the LCD door there. That's all the switches and buttons that I was referring to. And then on the back of the camera here, so I didn't even see a where is, has to be, I have to be missing it, I'm thinking. Where is there a menu on this? Has to be, right? It's terrible. That's why I was saying with all the buttons behind, but usually, date, time, title. That's terrible, man. If there's a menu button here and I'm missing it, dude, I'm an idiot. Anyways, let's move on. On the back of the camcorder here, we have the LANC port. The one below it, another one. I'm sorry, I don't know what this port is. I'll put up the information, what it is below. It looks like a 3.5, whether that's headphone, I don't think it's mic. And then below that, you have volume. So when you're playing back a tape on the camera, there is a speaker right here, and the volume control to hear the audio is right there, and we'll test that later. On the side of the LCD over here is a brightness control. This scroll wheel right here will do, let's try that. That should work right now. I think I'm good there, and then, yeah, so see that just whited it out almost. On my end, this LCD screen is kind of directional, so the way I'm looking at it, it's almost whited out. But I'm seeing a little bit of picture up here, but then let me see that. So there's your, and I could even go kind of darker with it, but I usually like to set it right in the middle. Last thing, I think we'll move on to testing a tape with it, is AV ports. And what's this one over here? Yeah, this is mic. This is microphone right here. Pretty sure that's what it is. I'll correct myself if I'm wrong. That's what it looks like. It says there. And then the AV ports, just mono sound. All right. This is the red button back here is the record button, start and stop for that. You also have a shortcut button up here for start and stop of recording. I don't think I'm missing anything here. I think I've went over everything that I need to. Let's try. I'm not going to clean the tape compartment. Let's see if it loads a tape. I don't know what that was, why that was beeping like that. Maybe, I don't remember on the 22. Not all Sony camcorders do that. Maybe that's a normal feature for this one when it's loading the tape. Let's see what happens. So must just be a common thing on the loading of the tape. Sounds pretty good. Loaded it fine, it seems. And yeah, no reason for alarm on the sound of it. I think we'll try recording. I'll just use the shortcut up here. Huh. Okay. Let's try this one. Nothing. Okay. I don't think that door might, I don't know if that door has to be on there or not. Not sure. I thought it would work. Maybe that's the alarm sound. Let's see if I can get this in there just temporarily somehow. Ooh, now it sounds funky. Let's turn it off. I think it's getting worse as I go. This might be one of my few will it works that doesn't work. That's all right. That's the way it goes. I'm not too worried about it. Let's see if I can get this on here. And this will be one I will pass on to my son and see if he has any luck repairing it. Usually there would be screws typically that hold the door into place. Yeah. But I don't see where this stuff would be. Maybe it just snaps in. No? I don't see any brakes on here either. These definitely notch in. You know what I'm gonna do? Take this out. I'm just gonna kind of work with this for a little bit. I might fast forward through this just to speed it up, but I'm going to at least see if I can figure out how this door goes on this thing. The only thing I can think is that I bet, can't tell right off the bat, but I bet that there are clips on the top here that are supposed to, because I can get the bottom clipped in. But the top, I don't think is going to clip in because I think those are, they're broke. Pinch roller secured. Yeah, that top's not gonna click into place. Let's try this again. I think we're gonna be in bad shape on this one. Darn, man. So yeah, when I was seeing that gap on the picture, that's what it was up here. Darn. Well, this is going to be a pretty labor-intensive repair, I would say. I might set my son up with both of these and see if he'll have to take this one apart, see how the door operates on that one. But even at that, I think we're in bad shape on this one. This might be one of those situations where try this tape. What? Are we recording here now? I have no idea. Kind of loud in the tape compartment. We might be recording here with the TRV22. Is it a V? I'm just gonna let it record for a second. The TRV22. Let's see if the mic's picking up some audio there. A few zooms with this. Like it's hitching there, like it's not zooming smoothly with this one. That could be, it could be dirty, this switch in here. Might need to put some contact cleaner in there. Stop it. All right. Let's go right into playback. See what happens on this. So playback controls are up here. To switch the camera from recording to playback is this switch right here, and we want to take it all the way down to player, because what it is. Yeah. So just slide that to player. Then let's play. Rewind. I'm gonna rewind further. Let me go back. I wasn't sure if I had to hold this in or just press it once. Gotta hold it in. I want to turn up the volume. The previous recording was not in, I don't think, Video8. let's see if the mic's picking up some audio there. A few zooms with this. I think I'm going to try to clean the tape compartment after this. Not zooming smoothly with this one. That could be, it could be dirty, this switch in here. Might need to put some contact cleaner in there. Stop it. It's also, I don't think, but there could always be a problem either with the lens or with that and why it's switching. But it wasn't all the time. It was just periodically, and it was not... There wasn't a pattern to it, so that's what leads me to believe that it's probably most likely dirty in there, but we will see. What I want to do now, I don't, oh, I'm going to clean the compartment. So it is possible that this TDK tape, I think I got this. I don't remember where I got this one from, if this was from a past camcorder or what it was. Usually I don't use these TDKs. I just thought with this situation, maybe I would. But this tape, did this, I mean, it worked, but I don't know how accurate this working is. But we are going to switch this back over to camera, and we're gonna start recording with the cleaning tape, and we only want to do this for like 8 to 10 seconds. With this one, since I had a little bit of issue, I'm gonna push it around 10. That's probably good. Then I'm gonna switch this to playback. I didn't have any issues with playback, but I'm just gonna clean it both ways. And then we're not gonna record on this. We'll hit play here. Same way, 8 to 10 seconds approx. Don't overdo it. Should be good. So really, what I need to figure out, I gotta get that door off, and I bet you anything there are clips up here at the top, like there are down here at the bottom on those plastic pieces. There are little hinge clips or whatever, and I bet you anything they're broke off up here, and that would allow it to go into place there and then click into place here, I'm thinking. Yeah, I bet you anything that's what it is. I'll have to tear that one down. I'm not too worried about tearing it down either. Because I've got to do that anyway if I'm going to replace some of the shell of this. So I think I'm going to start doing that now. I think I'm just going to start tearing that one down on camera here. So I'll just fast forward through it. I'll probably just do a time lapse. I won't have you guys just watch all that. And then if I can't get it, or if something else, maybe I'll have my son do a further repair on it. But all right. So let's shut this one down. Those switches are a pain in the ass. All right, so yeah, I'm just gonna go dark here for a second, bring this one up, and start taking this apart and see if I can see how I could get this door off to put on that one, and see if that helps the situation. I don't know if there's any security feature in there where I I don't think so, but I'm not sure. What I'm getting at is a security feature where if the door isn't on there and not appropriate, could it send any alerts or codes to the camera that says, hey, maybe stop? That way you can't get your finger. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just hypothetically there. But let me get my toolkit. Well, here's the interesting thing. I don't know if I see any difference. So, oh, I do now. Okay, so it was broken. It's just in a different location. So this is the one I just took off, and you can see that there's a clip right here and right here, and they're broke off right there because they wedged that open, probably trying to get, oh, maybe it was that tape. I don't even remember now. Yeah, it must have been that tape they were trying to get out. So let's see. I should be able to just clip this on, I think, fairly easily. Probably the top first. I'm so dumb. I'm so dumb, man. I was trying to put the one that's broke back on it. I'm an idiot. A lot. It snapped right into place. Now, let's preface this by saying, I don't know if that's gonna fix any of it. But I got a door on it. So let's kind of start over here a little bit. Not start over, but let's try some more. Let's just go from scratch. Try this a few times. Actually, not just once. So we'll open the door. Turn it on, put it on standby. I should get, you know what I'm gonna do? Only because I noticed, let me see if I can get it to do it again with this battery pack. The power supply on it. I was wondering if the contacts were just a little bit corroded and that's why I lost power earlier. It could have been from the time. It could have been just because of standby. I know the second one was, but I'm not sure about the first one. But anyways, I can't get it to do it again. Let's just eject this a few times, close it. It doesn't sound bad. Maybe that's why I was having trouble with this tape. Again, I just must be spacing today because I shouldn't have been testing this with... Yeah, that's the cleaning tape. I'll just try this one again. I'll do 2 recordings and I'll play it on the TV. If we get anything. Let's try it again. Too bad. Red indicator up front, or not up front, on the LCD, and then we've got a red indicator light right there as well. So we're just gonna let this record for a little bit. Once again, recording with the TRV22 Video8, audio up front. We're just gonna let it record. Let's try zooms with this. The zoom up here seems to be pretty smooth. So I'm gonna spray some contact cleaner in this one. See if I can clear that up. And it might clear up just by using it. I've had that before on certain, there, I think. And also, you gotta make sure, like, I think it's kind of me a little bit, where I'm not getting it pressed all the way. Like, if you put your index or however you're zooming on the top, sometimes I think you can, yeah, like there, where, no, I'm still getting the same issue regardless. I bet I just need to put some contact cleaner in there, because this one's smooth. And if it was, pretty confident in saying if it was in the lens, both zooms would do the same thing. So we're still recording. Let me stop it here. This one, let's plug it into the TV. See if we get video and audio out that way. I'll start the video again. I can't believe how unprepared I was for this one. Maybe that's good. That way I don't have to be so uptight about these videos, and like if I mess something up or do something wrong, I don't have to worry about it as much. Let me turn this off so I don't get any feedback. Yeah, I bet you anything that's what happened. I bet the camcorder could have belonged to them. Maybe they got it some other way and wanted to try to get the tape out. Could have been a family member's, who knows, but I bet they tried to pry in here, pull this, to pull the compartment out, and then that cracked the door. Video 2 volume. Playback. I don't know if this is a successful, will it work? A little bit of a repair. Excuse me. Let's see. And then we've got a red indicator light right there as well.
So we're just going to let this record for a little bit.
Getting good audio through here.
Once again,
I'm going to turn this down.
Recording with the TRV22 Video8. Audio up front. I'm just going to let it record. Let's try zooms with this. The zoom up here seems to be pretty smooth. So I'm going to spray some contact cleaner in this one. See if I can clear that up. And it might clear up just by using it.
I'll put some contact cleaner in it.
There, I think, and also you got to make sure, like, I think it's kind of neat a little bit where I'm not getting it pressed all the way, like if you put your index or however you're zooming on the top.
Why I said that is it's touch sensitive, so if you don't have it all the way over, then just a little bit, it should only zoom really slowly, and then if there's imperfections, even with a little bit of a press, it's not going to go anywhere.
I bet I just need to put some contact cleaner in there because this one's smooth. And if it was pretty confident saying if it was in the lens.
I already did rewind, but let's go back just a bit so I can try some more of these buttons up here. So that was rewind. Here's fast forward. Let me go back. Try pause. Pause is good. So I did rewind, play, fast forward, pause, and stop. I don't really know what to say yet about this one. But I'm leaning more along the lines of, oops, it's probably good. I think everything that I experienced, in the past with it, where it was turning off, I don't think that was any issue. I think with the zoom up here, contact cleaner should resolve that issue. And if it doesn't, it would probably need a little bit more of a manual cleaning from the interior. I don't think the zoom's bad. I could be wrong, but I don't think it is because this one was operating so smoothly up front. I'm not quite sure what I will do with the body, the shell of this one, if I'll try to take any of the parts from that one to put on here. I'm not quite sure with that yet. I don't want to take it apart too far on this one, mess up any of the ribbon cables. Actually, the more I'm thinking about this, I think this one had ribbon cable issues. And these white ones, I don't like working with those as much. There are the gold or yellow colored ones, which seem to be much more durable, in my opinion. My son has had good luck with these white ones, these white cables, but I haven't. Sometimes there's a blue backing that goes behind the pin connectors, and that kind of gives it some support to go into the where the ribbon cable plugs into on the board inside. And once the blue things come off, they're really tough to get back on. You can still do it, but I just haven't had as good of a luck with these. So I'd hate to take this one apart just to swap the shell and have the same thing happen. What I might do, I might actually just like, I don't know, I was going to say I might put that one back together or just sell that one with it. That way, if whoever I'm sending this to, if they wanted to use any of these parts, I'm not quite sure yet what I'll do with that. But regardless, I'll figure it out. I'll do a lot more testing with this one. Not that I don't with the other ones. I usually go out for a couple hours and shoot with them. You know, I'll put the same effort into this one, and I'll really try to make sure on this. And I definitely won't charge as high of a price. Maybe the, you know, typical going rate. I know these aren't worth a lot to begin with. Maybe if I'm lucky, 130, 140 maybe. Probably less than 150. So I don't know what I'll do on this one yet. I want to make sure that it's going to function well. I'm going to order a battery in for it, AV cables. If I do find, and this video, I just want to make sure that everyone knows, you know, kind of like what's up and what's going on. I'll try to reflect my price with what I feel is the functional condition of it. So I think I'm in good shape so far, or now. I think I'm in good shape. So yeah, I'll take it out, do some recording with it, see how it operates, get these videos uploaded. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. I don't know if I'm missing anything here. That way, if I am, it keeps me on my toes. So if there's something I'm forgetting to go over or anything that you guys want me to show or do on here, maybe I can, you know, try to implement that in the future. So, but I think I'm going to call the video right here. I think it's okay to do that. And I'm just hesitant. I just feel like I'm forgetting something that should be so elementary that I shouldn't be forgetting it. If I am, again, like I always say, forgive me on this. Maybe I'll add it after the fact, and maybe I'm not. So again, questions, comments, leave them down below. If you're, you know, like always, if you're enjoying the videos, like, comment, subscribe. I'll be back for more. Probably won't be doing much more in the way of Video 8 right now because I think I'm pretty good on power supplies. I might have to do one more. I can't remember how many were down there. But then I can move on to maybe some like high 8s, digital 8s, or mini DVs and test those out. So yeah, again, if you're enjoying the videos, like, comment, subscribe. Questions, comments, leave them down below, and we'll be back for more videos in the future. I hope I'm not forgetting something. I'll see you then. Later.